Yo, what up, my beautiful dowdies? How's everyone doing today? I'm your host, Val. Let's talk about characters that are not released yet. I made a previous video already about Hoyoverse not releasing characters that they show. In Honkai Star Rail, it's really starting to turn into a waiting room. A lot of people are still waiting for Sunday, and he did look like to be a playable character. Screwlum, all the way in the beginning, did look like a playable character, even though it maybe was a 4-star, is still not in the game. And then the main roster that is still a very big question mark is the Annihilation Gang. The Annihilation Gang, Duke Inferno, got such an insane trailer, and they're still not here yet. At least the children from Duke Inferno, that's how they called them. And yet again, these characters look very polished, look very playable, and look like very interesting characters as a whole. But why have we not really heard from them yet? We all know that there's a big player base for these specific characters. Everyone was very hyped for Screwlum. A lot of people are still waiting for Sunday. And when the Annihilation Gang got revealed, a lot of people really wanted these characters. They look terrific, and they have a lot of presence and aura around them. So I don't really expect them not being playable. That'd be very weird, and Honkai Star Rail knows that a lot of people are hyped for these characters. So I don't think they're really going to pass up maybe potential money for their business. In the Annihilation Gang's defense, I do think that characters that have not been shown in the game and just in trailers are always going to be in that boat where they're not really part of the story yet, so don't expect them that soon. I think a lot of Hoyoverse games out there have that when they show a lot of stuff in trailers, but in trailers their presence doesn't mean anything yet. However, when they're in the game already, that's when you really can start to speculate them having a banner soon. They always do this with the story. If there's going to be new characters and they introduce new characters, within 2 months there's probably going to be playable characters. And we can clearly see that with the story as well. When Black Swan and Sparkle were in the story, they had banners. Firefly got shown, and then a few weeks after she did get drip marketed. Same with Acheron. She got revealed, and then not that late she got a banner. Venturine got revealed. He also got a banner, you know, and this continues on and on and on and on. But there's a few characters that don't get this treatment. And Sunday is really one that suffers a lot. Sunday got shown a lot in the story, and he's still not a playable character. Because this pattern returns, and it returns in more Hoyoverse games, I am starting to think that these characters are going to be playable, and I see more hope for them day by day. It is just very awkward to see that they're giving so much screen time and not having a banner yet. I thought that the Annihilation Gang was going to be playable after Penacony, or at least we're going to have some sort of relationship where maybe we're going to meet them and get to know them better. But now we're going to go back to Luofu. And going back to Luofu completely changes up the game and really makes me wonder what is going to happen with these Penacony characters. Sunday and the Annihilation Gang really come to mind talking about that. It is super weird because we're going to be in Luofu for a while. If you haven't realized yet, we're going to be back in 2.4 and we're going to get Yonli and Xianzhou. And we're going to get a new form for March 7. After that, we've already got drip markets for Fei Xiao and Ling Xia. And on top of that, a new 4-star Mose. Now, I also speculate more Luofu character. I think that we're going to be there for maybe one more patch. And I think that we are going to stay in Luofu until the new area comes around. If you look at how it went, Belobog was technically 1.0 and Luofu as well. Then in 2.0 we got Penacony. Now we got Penacony until 2.4. Now in 2.4 we're going to back to Luofu. And I think they're now going to put in not necessarily filler content, but content that is not really moving forward in the story. We're going to go back. We might get a cool story here and there, and we meet new characters and we defeat new enemies. It's going to be cool and all, but actually going forward with the story, that's not going to happen. That is going to be in 3.0. But in 3.0, we're probably going to get a new area. And that is really when we're going to start seeing these characters. I am speculating the Annihilation Gang, or characters from the Annihilation Gang, the leftover children, that we're going to see them later on or in the new 3.0 area. And that trailer from them was actually showing characters from that area already. They really like to do this in their games. If we look at Genshin Impact, there was a trailer on release that already showed characters from Sumeru, characters from the new area coming up right now. So Honkai Star Rail really likes to put on a fire and make us hyped. I think this can be a double-edged sword though. I think that Sunday not having a banner still to this day, after so much Sunday lore, is very destructive for the game and destructive for the player base. I think that it takes way too long for such an important character to be released. Now, I do have to admit, I don't know if he's going to be a 4 or 5 star, but being playable needs to be already there. He got released with his sister all the way in Penacony. Robin now already has a banner for a while and has already gone. Sunday is still not having a banner. And now with Luofu as a return, it is very unlikely for him to get one soon. And he might get one in 2.8 or 2.9, but that's not soon. We're only in 2.4 in a few weeks. So this is going to take a very long time. And with the Luofu characters now being shown, I think we're going to be in Luofu maybe for a while. Then I think that we might even get a visit back to Belobog. And then we're going to go to the new area and then we'll be reaching 3.0. So there's going to be a lot of quote-unquote filler content until of 3.0. They have to, right? They cannot really give us a new area that fast because it's in the making. I do think that it would be way nicer for the flow of the game to get a new area faster. Even though it's maybe not every 10 patches, every 7 patches would already be way different. You know that we got Penacony 2.0 and then at 2.7 we already have a new area. That would have a way better flow already. But I'm okay with every big patch, you know, every 0 patch. 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. The trailer of Luofu did show to be a little bit of hype, you know. I do think that it does look exciting and they're not going to leave us with empty hands. But I think it's very bad for the feel of the game to show characters and then not release them. I don't know if you guys remember, but in Genshin Impact, there was also a character called Baiju. Guy with green hair and a snake. That guy got revealed already, although in the beginning of Genshin Impact on release. And it took very, very long for him to come out. If I'm not mistaken, it was 3.6. Now, that is a very long time for an actual character to come out. Hey, pause the video right now. Over 90% of you people that watch my videos actually are not subscribed to my channel. It would mean a lot to me if you would actually consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind after. Let's continue with the video. So I want you guys to understand that it can be very harmful for your fun if you're always going to be excited for these characters that have not been shown yet. I do think if the flow is clearly showing that a character is being shown and then not being revealed in the next 3 months, then it might be a case where they actually take a very long time for them to release. And that is because of how their story is going. They probably have more things for this character later on in the story. And then when the real unraveling of this lore behind this character is going to be in the spotlight, that's when they will release this character. In the Penacony story, Robin was really like the main character and she had a lot of things around her. She was a very big spotlight there. That's why she got a banner. Sunday was the antagonist and there was just a lot of things that we did not know about him yet. That's why he didn't get a banner yet. What my speculations are is that Sunday is probably going to have a way bigger picture later on in the story and that's when he will get a banner. I personally find it very frustrating because when you show a new character, you get excited for it and they should, within a certain amount of time span, release this specific character as a playable character. Luofu is probably going to be fun. We'll have a lot of exciting characters, but this does mean that the Annihilation Gang will again be delayed. My speculation is that the Annihilation Gang is going to be there in 3.0. I don't think any earlier, and because they got shown into a trailer, I think that is fine. We really didn't get to see them in game yet, and when we get characters in game, then you really need to start looking at, okay, this character is probably going to be shown very soon. And Cruelim and Sunday are just in a very tough position because of that. We did get a certain voice line from Constance, the white succubus woman. If I'm mistaken, in Penacony, we did get to talk to her in some way, but that doesn't really count either because it's not showing. If it's showing in the story and in in-game models, then Hoyoverse really shows, all right, the in-game model is here, you know, it is really coming to an end. When the in-game model is complete or has movement and the character is really like walking around, that is when it's in the end stages and they're really trying to finalize the work for the specific character, in my book at least. I personally think that 3.0 of Honkai Star was going to be very big. 2.0 was an amazing patch, and I think Penacony in the beginning, when we first got to see all those different elements and walking on walls and just having like an attraction park area and everything was colorful and goofy and whatever, that was very good and it was a very breath of fresh air. It was very different all of a sudden in Honkai Star Rail. So for 3.0, I do hope that we are going to get another breath of fresh air. I want 3.0 to really step up their game, and I do want 3.0 or earlier to really start showing these characters that we've been waiting for a very long time. Honkai Star Rail has a relatively good flow of the game. I do think that playing this game, building these characters, doing the endgame content, getting more end-to-end content every time has a good feel to it. I think that the story is a nice bonus to really get to know these characters, and that we really get to see these characters, and that makes you want to pull for these characters, you know? That is really how the business model works. They need some sort of marketing to make you pull for these characters, and they will do that with the story. So that's why every patch with new story, new characters will come out, and then you'll get attached to these characters, and then you'll build them up, pull for them, and clear endgame content. You know, that's the cycle of the gacha games. That is really why Sunday is such a weird story. Screwlum didn't really get that much screen time yet, but he is there also in the simulated universe. You know, he's just standing there. So Screwlum is really more of a problem than Sunday in my opinion, but that's for another video. Sunday is probably going to get a banner very soon, but I do think that it's going to be around 3.0. And that is very sad to see because he already got revealed in 2.0. As for the Annihilation gang, I think that they have a lot of potential, and I really wanted some characters from there. I actually thought that the guy with the cello looked very interesting, and he looked like to be a fire character because of the blue flames that he had, and I really like fire characters as a whole. So I was very excited for that character, and I'm always thinking in animations, he's probably going to have some sort of music. Maybe he will buff everyone with his orchestra, you know. There's a lot of different ways you can unravel these characters, but I want them to be there soon because you are missing out on such a core concept. If you see them and they look so cool and they have a lot of detail and they're still not in the game, you do lose interest over time. At least I have that. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the Annihilation gang and just about all the characters that didn't get released yet. What do you guys think about Luofu being put in the mix when we are maybe supposed to move forward? If you guys think that Luofu is just going to be a filler story and just content as a whole. I still think that Luofu is going to have crazy good characters for team building and just lore as a whole. I still think that Ting Yun also might be coming back in Luofu, and maybe we'll finally get some lore behind Ting Yun and where she was or where the real one was. I think personally that Luofu was necessary to go back because there was so many things that were not finished yet. A lot of story, a lot of lore with open books still. So I hope with the return of Luofu, we are finally closing a lot of books, and then we can really move on to the next area. I do hope we get at least that feeling from it when we are going to return to Luofu. Let me know what you guys think, and I really would like to hear you guys' takes on all the lore stories and the upcoming characters that haven't been released yet. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Means the world to me if you could do that. Make sure to join the Discord. We're trying to grow the community even further. And if you want to support the channel even further, then become a member. I love you all, and I'll see you around in the next video. Take care. Peace.